Hi everyone, here's what's bothering me today. The Balkans. Oh boy. Okay, so quick background. There's some protests that made the news in Belgrade, Serbia a few days ago where protesters tried to storm the Serbian parliament because there was lockdown measures that had been implemented to deal with the coronavirus in Serbia, and these protesters decided, no, we're against that, and so they tried to storm parliament. And while that's ostensibly about the coronavirus, it's also probably more about the state of things in Serbia and their authoritarian leadership, I'm assuming. What's also messed up and why I felt the need to make this video is right next door in Montenegro, some are saying that it could be potentially on the verge of civil war. And this takes a little bit of explaining because the people of Montenegro, in many ways, are very similar to Serbians. There's actually plenty of Montenegrins who consider themselves to be Serbian, but they're just living in the state of Montenegro. And Serbia and its pan-ethnic nationalism has always said that they will protect Serbs wherever they are. So Bosnia, Kosovo, Montenegro, parts of Macedonia. This is the sort of Serbian nationalist outlook. And in Montenegro right now, they've had the same dictator since they achieved independence after the breakup of Yugoslavia in like 1991 or something like that. They had been formerly in a union with Serbia. It was the Union of Serbia and Montenegro. But then I think in 2009 or possibly earlier, they voted to be completely independent. But the same dude running this area has been doing so since 1991. And he's, of course, an authoritarian. Montenegro is basically a mafia state now. And there's a lot of corruption, and there's also a push to try and create a Montenegrin identity. And this brings us to the crisis currently in Montenegro, which saw government troops ceasing construction of new churches because, if memory serves me correctly, the Church of Montenegro is actually part of the Serbian Orthodox Church. And this is this guy's way of trying to make it clear that Montenegro is separate from Serbia. But being a devoutly Christian nation, a lot of people are fighting back. And so the government started arresting bishops and patriarchs. And the people didn't like that. So there have been a lot of protests in the street, and there's been a lot of police violence against protesters. And right next door, even though it's currently now dealing with its own, anti-coronavirus lockdown protests, there are parties in Serbia that are saying, well, we say that we're going to defend all Serbs, so if our Serbian brethren in Montenegro are being attacked by their own government, then we kind of feel inclined to intervene. And then, of course, this brings us to the elephant in the room, which is Kosovo and its limited recognition as an independent state from around the world. I'm not going to touch the legitimacy of Kosovo because I know there's a lot of people around the world who agree or disagree that Kosovo should be an independent state. But right here in this area with Serbia, Kosovo, and Montenegro, there is now a legitimate risk because of COVID-19 and these brutal authoritarian regimes. We could have another Balkan war on our hands. And no one's talking about that. And that's what's bothering me today.